MC, Big Pooh, Mike Wonder, Styles.
Yo, it's your boy, Cool Kamasi in the building. What's going on? What's going on, man? Right back at it doing this pre-record real quick. Man, Jasmine Crockett, illegal luchadores. Oh my. What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well today. Enjoying this beautiful day, Thursday. I'm about to head out in a few, so I just figured I'd do some pre-records real quick so I can get you on your way, man. So let's check this out, man. As you know, there's a big case going on with the gentleman named Abriga. I think Abrigo or Abriga, last name. He's in Maryland, was caught and deported to El Salvador. And now the forces are coming from the local politicians like Chris Van Hollen in Maryland to Jasmine Crockett in Texas to AOC. Oh my. This is getting very, very hot feisty. And you can't believe that, right? You can't believe it. I couldn't believe it either. I could not believe it either. But it's one thing to doing. So one thing to know that this is going to be a wild ride. All right. Shout out to my man David Olekin in the building. Salute to the homie. All right. So let's see, man. Let's get this out of here real quick. And let's see what they're talking about here. See what they talked about with illegal immigration, aka luchadors over the barrier. Let's go.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people when they could be looking out for the murderers and the sexual abusers as well as the robbers. They want them to go and round people up on civil accusations.
Mm, mm. But I'm trying to realize. I'm trying to think. What was going on? Abrigo was, they saying by all the reports that he was a criminal. Betty boy, these guys were criminals. So you got to tell me who's who. I don't know. But it's the line here, the line that's quoted. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. So criminal violation illegally. This she's trying to say that this is the opposite of this. That's amazing. That is amazing. Shout out to Thomas Sowell quotes, by the way. Check him out on Twitter. Let's see this one. Let's see what she's talking about here.
Look, the first two votes have got to be read together. The first one, we said, okay, nobody should be deported from the country without due process. They refused.
Where is due process found?
Due process is found in the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Constitution, y'all.
And what does due process mean? It means like before they deprive you of your life, your liberty, or your property, you get to hear what the charges are against you. You get to put on your evidence, as Jasmine Crockett has done as a lawyer and as a member of Congress. There's got to be some structure to it, so it's fair, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be a neutral fact finder, right? Who decides? All right, that's all we're saying.
And hopefully prevents these mistakes.
So before you get sent out of the country, there's got to be due process. There's got to be a fair hearing, right? And our colleagues refused to vote for that, despite the fact that the Supreme Court just said in a 9-0 decision that there's got to be. And that includes everybody on that Supreme Court. That's pretty incredible that all 9 of them would actually say, yeah, we agree. There's got to be due process.
Now, that's what they say. This gentleman here or person here said Representative Raskin was with Jasmine Crockett last night and lied about due process and the Supreme Court. What Democrats now want are long trials for every illegal who's deported so that it takes forever to deport the millions that Joe Biden imported. Of course, Dems did not care about this under Obama. That's because now Dems are using illegals to cheat in elections and the census. So Dems are desperate to keep these illegals here for as long as they can. Whoa. Man, that sounds like Democrats sound like the blockbuster people who rent the videos and refuse to bring them back. They're the type to borrow library books and don't bring them back and do a long process about it. That's what it seems like. As for the Supreme Court non-overruling, it was actually a win for President Trump, as it said no district court can dictate U.S. foreign policy. Jamie Raskin can lie all he wants, and he will, but mass deportations are happening. Yes, they are happening, and they're happening fast. And no, illegals will not get any long trials. ICE already knows who the illegals are. If you don't want to get deported, then carry around your valid passport or ID that says you are a United States citizen. American will not be scammed by these Democrats and their illegals any longer. Their due process only is a right of true Americans. True due process only is a right of true Americans. My apologies. But yeah, seems like, she's trying to give them citizen rights, and I don't think that's going to go down. Shout out to Josh Johnson, says Keisha think it's not illegal to give her their name in a traffic stop. Eesh. Amazing. Let's see what else is here. All right, community notes. Buried under Jasmine Crockett. She says, RFK Jr. says fluoride makes you stupider. An interest at stake for a man actively proven it's not the water, it's the policy. That ain't health care. It's headline chasing with a government badge. I don't know why she deleted that. But the next got it right. They said, unfortunately, fluoride does have long-term neurotoxic effects. Also, wig glue, if used excessively, can also cause neurological problems, which is what likely led Jasmine Crockett to post this. Hey, man, Twitter wrote that. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. So Jasmine Crockett's an all-star, but we didn't forget about the forgotten. And the forgotten is Kamala Harris. It's crazy. We are now we're about 6 months past from the election. Officially, today's May 1st. We're a few days away from when she was totally forgotten about after the election. So let's hear what she got to say.
Including congressional leaders like Cory Booker, Chris Van Hollen, Chris Murphy, Jasmine Crockett, Maxwell Frost, AOC, and Bernie Sanders. Including congressional leaders like Cory Booker.
I'm sorry, that sounded like she was giving a shout out at a party. And it was mild applause. Yeah, man, wig glue is poisoning, man. It is poisoning, man. But it's amazing. This chick out here is doing it. And the whole immigrant thing, man, I'll say this. If they were to put this energy into becoming a citizen in the first place, they probably would not have to go through this. Let's look up the process to becoming a United States citizen. Let's look that up. Becoming a U.S. citizen. Let's see. We'll find out. Maybe they'll have bullet points. Let's do with bullet points. Hopefully they get me right here. Let's see. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share this part of the screen right now for you guys right here. All right, so you guys can see this and check it out. Let me zoom in. So we'll do that. All right. There are probably about at least seven here, but maybe more. But this is probably seven, put it in a compound form of what it is to become a United States citizen. So to become a U.S. citizen, you must follow these steps. Determine your eligibility. Complete and submit the form N400, the application for naturalization. Attend a biometrics appointment. Complete the interview. receive a decision, attend the oath ceremony, and understand your rights and responsibilities. So let's see. Maybe the illegals don't know what it means to determine your eligibility. What does that mean in terms of U.S. citizenship? Let's see. All right, so here we go. To determine your eligibility for U.S. citizenship, you need to meet the following requirements: be 18 years of age or older, have been a permanent resident of the United States for at least 5 years. So Abrigo was a resident for at least 5 years. They said 2019, that's when Trump was in office. We're at 2025, that's at least 5 years. Pass a civics test demonstrating knowledge of U.S. history and government. Now, I'm going to drop a little kernel for my ICE people right now. I'm going to drop a little kernel. There was a scene in The Wire. Let me try to pull it up. The scene on The Wire. The Wire. Let me see if I can pull it up. There was a scene in The Wire. And they were approaching people from New York and asking them, do you know about Baltimore music? And if they didn't know, they would find themselves caught in trouble. In this case of the story, they would find themselves dead. But that was the show, The Wire, in a nutshell. Let me see if I can find that clip. Let's see. We're going to see if we can find this clip here. Can't find it? Oh well. I'll just explain it the best way I can. But The Wire was a great show back in the day, and then it showed that same thing. So if I was an ICE agent, I would start asking, do you know who George Washington is, or George Washington Carver? Do you know about Pearl Harbor? Do you know what date the planes hit 9/11? And if they say anything but 9/11, you got to throw them in there. Shout out to JB Designs. He says, to be honest, I get why it's so extensive. Guys coming from Muslim countries have to be acculturated into Western society. They're like, you mean we just can't take the vagine? In my country, we would. Hey, man. But let's find out about this test. Let's find out more about this test. Let's see. Maybe we could see let's see if we can find maybe an example of it. Let's see. Maybe they have an example. All right, so here we go. They even give you a little practice test here. They give you a little practice test. Do they do it I guess they don't do it in everybody's language. But that's where you knowing English would definitely shine and come true. So they have it here. They even have can you pass a U.S. citizenship test? Take the civics quiz. Let's see. So according to the U.S. CIS, 88% of applicants passed both tests on their first try in 2022. 97.5% were able to pass on the second attempt. So wait a minute. Is it 88% of the applicants who took the test passed it their first try? Then the other 12 that were left, 97.5% of them were able to pass on the second attempt. These stats are a little bit misleading, so maybe somebody can help me out later on. I'll send the link here in the chat to anybody want to check it out. But man, this is crazy. So you mean to tell me that people was there a cheat sheet? What was going on? So Abrigo had everything going for him and still got deported to El Salvador. Demonstrate English proficiency. I never heard him speak English before, so I don't even know. Maybe he could. But I think this part here, demonstrate English proficiency, will be a hard one for a lot of these illegals. But if I was ICE, I would do it. Instead of doing the drunk test, walk 5 steps and make sure your BAC is good. I would have them say an English. I would, what's an easy one for people to remember to know English well? Hickory Dickory Dock, maybe. The Three Little Pigs. I don't know, something to help them remember. We'll see. All right. Anyways, number 5 to determine eligibility: have a good moral character. Now, according to a lot of reports, Abrigo was mollywopping his wife. So I don't know. If you commit crimes out here, I would say that kind of disqualifies your good moral character. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I think I'm right on that one. Take an oath of allegiance to the United States. Now, this is a tough one because I think they should be more stringent on this last one. I mean, you should be more stringent with this. Take an oath of allegiance to the United States. I think all of these should count. Good moral character, English proficiency, passing the test, being a permanent resident, which includes more paperwork, and being 18 years of age or older. So, number 6 to me, I would do a little more stringent. I would make sure that they are, without a doubt, taking that oath of allegiance to the United States, no matter what. There is no America, this is that. That's why that Muslim got kicked out. Yeah, maybe she had it coming. Maybe she did. Definitely did, man. Shout out to David King on that one, man. Let's get back to Crockett. Let's get back to, and her things. Okay. Oh, dang. Well, this is a little perverse right there. Let's keep on. All right. Somebody says here, Jasmine Crockett voted against no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security. She went on camera and admitted that she's rooting for other nations to defeat America economically. She hates America. Vote her out in 2026. 2026 will be interesting. Let's see. Who is this? His name is Sheldon Daniels. So a good shout out to Mr. Sheldon Daniels. Maybe he's running against her. Oh my gosh. Jasmine Crockett's car. I think that thing is alive. Got eyelashes and all that. It's alive. All right, so let's hear what you got to say here.
Kidnapping folk and you throwing them out of the country against their civil rights, against their constitution. As far as I'm concerned, you randomly kidnapping folk and you throwing them out of the country against their civil rights, against their constitutional rights. And frankly, how would they feel if some other country decided that they were going to just start throwing people randomly in our country? Like that is absolutely insane. So yes, all I got to say is y'all need to get these fools out of here. But Deborah isn't.
Did you hear what I just heard? So, let me play that again. Let me play this last part right here.
It's absolutely insane. So yes, all I gotta say is y'all need to get these fools out of here. But we're gonna just start throwing people randomly in our country. Some other country decided that they were gonna just start throwing people randomly in our country. Like that is absolutely insane. So yes, all I.
Yeesh. Texas, man. Lone Star, man. You guys got to get it right in 2026, man. You guys got to get it right in 2026 because another 5 years of this is going to be a nightmare. All right, let me see. All right. Oh, damn. This comment has been catching heat right here. So, wig glue, if used excessively, can also cause neurological problems, which is what likely led Congressman Jasmine Crockett to post this. Oh my God. That's been like the comment of the day. Shout out to JB Designs. His hope of Jasmine mistakenly gets deported and has to fight off Salvadorian studs in prison. Have you seen Salvadorian studs? They might as well be dudes. Damn. All right, let's keep going. All right. She has been very interesting. Alone here, let's see. I think I'm done right here. All right, let's look at Mr. Abrigo. Let's see what we doing here. Let's see if we can find something on him. Abrigo Garcia is his name. Let's see. All right, according to the New York Post, man, this is 21 hours ago. Kilmar Abrigo Garcia bragged he could kill his wife and get away with it. She claimed the newly unearthed protective order request. Whoa. 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 So you got a hole in the backyard for her with a burrito inside. Eesh. Eesh. Nasty work, man. All right, let's see what this was talking about. That's a long video. Okay, let's see. The government has been talking. The government has been talking out of both sides of their mouth pretty much since the beginning of this case. They say one thing in the press, they say another thing in court filings. Attorney for deported Maryland resident Abrigo Garcia, Simon Sandoval Moschenberg, speaking with. Dang, this is a Hispanic small hat? That is crazy. He's a Hispanic small hat. That's a.
Simon, I'm glad to talk to you again. And obviously this.
Oh, you know he's Hispanic too, because he got an earring over there. Look at that. He ain't even got his yarmulke. Is it maybe his yarmulke is hiding back there somewhere, but he got the earring on.
Story is moving here even as we speak. Your reaction to what we just heard there, the president saying he could pick up the phone, acknowledging to Terry Moran he could pick up the phone, he could make the call, he could say bring him back, and that Abrigo Garcia would come back. I believe that contradicts what the Trump lawyers have been telling you in court, right? They've been saying that he couldn't just pick up the phone and bring your client back.
Yeah, I mean, the government has been talking out of both sides of their mouth pretty much since the beginning of this case. They say one thing in the press, they say another thing in court filings. This is just another example. I find.
Damn, he might be an illegal too. Sandoval, look, man, I'm gonna be a little xenophobic, man, because they'll be xenophobic towards me. Sandoval sounds like an illegal luchador name. And then you Moschenberg too. So you one of the Moschenbergs. You're a burger. So you one of them burgers in Sandoval. So they might they might get a 2-for-1 with you and Abrigo. Let's see.
President Trump entirely credible when he says that he could get Kilmar Abrigo back with one phone call. Later in that same interview, he said that there were lawyers of his who were advising him not to make that phone call. We don't know who those people are, but we're going to find out.
Who those lawyers are. So you don't know who they are. If he's referring specifically to individuals, I mean, it's unclear if he's referring to lawyers, general people, but he says lawyers, but you don't know who they are right now.
Right. The judge today essentially restarted the discovery process. So now we're going to be getting documents from the government. We have 9 days to take depositions of various government officials, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find out, who said what to whom, when. And if anyone is telling, the cabinet officials and the president not to act in good faith here, we're going to find out who that is.
All right. So literally.
All right, but my thing, Mr. Sandoval, there was 7 steps to become a U.S. citizen. You could have helped him. You could have determined his eligibility. You could have helped him complete and submit Form N-400, the application for naturalization. You could have had him attend a biometrics appointment. Go and complete the interview. Receive a decision. Attend the oath ceremony. And finally understand his rights and responsibilities. Yet you on CNN, like in the words of Suge Knight, you're all in the camera. Talking about you want to find out who is talking to Trump to make him stop from bringing back Abrigo. Man, if you was my lawyer, I'll fire you. But, hey, you with Abrigo, you with the Luchador. Go ahead.
As we were coming to air, there was another development in this case, and this is from the Department of Homeland Security. They have just shared another request for a protective order filed by the wife of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So we knew about one petition for a protective order. They have now said that there was a second one. They're putting it out there. In it, she describes him taking her phone and slapping her during an argument. That this particular incident that this refers to is in August of 2020. She describes him breaking her phone and acting violently with police officers. Now, I just want to be clear, he wasn't charged with a crime connected with that incident or the other one that DHS has put out, and his wife rescinded the request. But what is your request to the, I guess two things, your response to the government releasing this, and were you already aware of it prior to, us talking about it here?
Yeah, look, I mean, I've been representing Kilmar Abrego Garcia for over a month now, and I've never had the chance to speak with him in my life, right? Because he's being held in.
You've been representing him for a month. You ain't speak to him. Then who are you speaking to? Who are you speaking to? Let's find out. Let's find out, y'all. Let's find out.
Communicado in Salvadoran prisons. The whole country's been talking about him for over a month. We've been, the one person who hasn't had the chance to speak yet is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. If the government is so convinced that they've got him dead to rights, that they've got all this evidence against him, bring him back and put him on trial. And then he'll take the witness stand and he'll get to speak for himself and he'll get to respond to all.
Man, why they got to do your job? Why they got to do your job? Man, you sound like one of the, how Speedy Gonzalez had them two friends that didn't like to do nothing? They didn't like to do anything. He had those two friends that did not like to do anything. Speedy did all the work and they was being lazy. That's who you remind me of. So you want them to do all the legwork. Who did you talk to? So you the attorney, who hired you? I mean, the wife, it seems like the wife didn't hire you. I'm wondering who hired you. That's my question. Who hired you to be the lawyer? You a small hat luchador. Ray Gefelter Mysterio. I don't know what to call you. I don't know who to call you. Bill Goldberg Mysterio. I don't know what. You're a different type of mix, my friend. But I want to know who hired you to be the lawyer. If you never spoke to him in a phone call, Chris Van Hollen, when he was there, didn't have you speak to him on the phone. He had shots of margaritas and then he call you. Man, I would the first person I would talk to if I was you, Mr. Lawyer, is Chris Van Hollen. You're in Fairfax County, Virginia. That's about where he's out in Annapolis. That's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on the Beltway, man. You can get there. Matter of fact, you can even call him now today. You ain't even got to drive over there. We got technology that you never heard of. It's called Microsoft Teams. Yes, you get to talk to people remotely, and you can do video too. Or they got another one called Zoom you can do as well, that you can call and you can discuss notes. There's a whole bunch of apps out right now that you can go talk to Chris Van Hollen and he'll give you the answers because he spoke to Abrigo, supposedly. But you didn't, and you're the lawyer. I don't know, man. I need a new lawyer, man.
All these allegations.
Is it just so I understand, though? Is it? Are you literally finding out about things like these protective orders? I mean, in the media or when DHS puts them out? I mean, are you even able to have that information prior to, say, us talking about it in this interview?
Oftentimes we find out about these allegations when they come out in the press precisely because they're not bothering to file any of this stuff into the court case because they know it's irrelevant, because they know that none of these things, make up for the fact that they deported him, admittedly by them, by mistake.
All right. So President Trump in this interview insists that Abrego Garcia has MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles, that literally MS-13. And he seemed to refer to this photo. So here's what he said to ABC News, to Terry Moran about it.
He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter M.
Yo, Trump's the homie. I gotta go back. Trump's the homie. Anytime he shuts somebody down, I always gotta go back and play. Let me play that from the very beginning. Trump's just ready. Right there.
MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
All right.
And don't tell me these dudes don't know how to read either, man. I could have sworn I saw an M and an S and a 1-3. I mean, you know, it wasn't PS-13. It was MS-13.
I'll just say, Simon, we'll put them up. On the left is the photo Trump is talking about. Someone apparently added MS-13 above each symbol. That's the Photoshop that Terry Moran's referring to, claiming that is what those symbols stand for. On the right is your client's hand when he met with Senator Van Hollen earlier this month. So that's when we got the photo from El Salvador. No MS-13. There are those symbols there. I just want to ask you a couple really basic questions to ask, but has your client ever had the actual letters and numbers MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles?
No, and this is why we don't try cases,
But how do you know? How? My friend, how do you know if you never spoke to the man? How? How could you? I would just say I don't know. I would plead the fifth because now you just lied. You ain't never spoke to the man. You never had a Microsoft Teams meeting with the man. You never. What's the other one? Zoom. You never had a Zoom. You Telegram, Discord, Facebook Messenger. You never had none of that with him. So you just in the dark. You in the dark. Trump no more than you. And Trump has to deal with tariffs, terrorists, Ukrainians, Russians, his wife, kids, baby mamas, and all that. And he barely have time, and he know more about it than you. You the lawyer. Man, what's going on with the MS-13 lawyers? You know what I'm saying? Don't get me clipped, but I'm just saying. Shout out to JB Designs. That's the worst tagline for a lawyer. I'll try my best. The best one I ever heard is, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Yes, sir. David King too. Let me show David King real quick. Dude just wants to do it the hard way. Yeah. The small hat luchador, man. I'm telling you, the small hat luchador is Rey Mysterio. Watch out. Juventud Guerrero. Watch out. We got Simon Salvador Marschenberg. He's gonna say, Arriba, who's next? Goldberg and Mysterio.
In the media with drip by drip, we try cases in court with admissible evidence, right? And there's no way that Photoshop photo would ever stand up in court.
All right. Well, I appreciate your, laying this out, as we know. And I will just say MS-13 experts tell PolitiFact that none of the symbols that were actually on the knuckles,
What's a MS-13 expert? What does an MS-13 expert look like? How do they talk? Do they walk like a certain, like the penguin waddle, or do they walk like the hood nibber? Like, what's the MS-13 expert's expertise? That's what I want to know. And this lady over here, she just want to put her hand over her face, like, damn, my homie came on with a black earring on his ear, looking like Screech with the big bifocals on. This dude just looked like he just got out the bar and got on Zoom. Because that's the Zoom background right there. That's the Zoom. He could have, one of those backgrounds you find in Zoom or Teams. He didn't even care to get MS-13 studies. Is crazy. Yeah. You caught this man straight out of Fridays. He probably wasn't even ready for this. He's probably like, man, look, I gotta go chase another ambulance, man. And he probably is dealing with another abrigo. Because, I think probably abrigo is a common name for the luchadors. So, in Maryland, there's a big part of luchadors. I can tell you what Ice where to go. You go to Tacoma Park, Langley Park, Gaithersburg, Germantown, across the seaboard, you can go to Cambridge. What's the other one? Oh man, that's just Queen Anne's County. They're deep. Man, where else? Southeastern Baltimore City. I think they're there. Frederick, they're there. They passed Hagerstown, going towards where I'm at in Washington County. They deep all over, man. The Luchadores is coming, man. They coming. They unmasked too. So you know in their culture, when they unmask, it's over. So these Luchadores is coming.
They put MS-13 above them, but are known signifiers for the gang. So the things that were actually there, PolitiFact says, are not known to be known signifiers for the gang, just to make sure that we put out as many facts as we can in this. Simon, thank you very much.
You know what's messed up, though? The expert will never help the average citizen know what to look for in an MS-13 member. That's exclusive knowledge to CNN. How messed up is that? The average citizen don't know, oh man, what does an MS-13 look like? What tattoos do they have? You might have to go to ChatGPT and find out, man. You might have to get that extra plan. You got to pay money to ChatGPT to find out about MS-13 and expound more on that. So it becomes your little expert. While they got the plug and they don't want to share with nobody. And you know the lawyer don't know anything about this. He just want to go back to his drink, his little friend, his little friend who likes his earring, and then keep it moving.
Very much. I appreciate your time.
Always good to be here.
All right. Good to see you. And next, a top.
He shut him down. What's her name? Erin Burnett. She just shut him down. Oh my God. Is that her? That look like her.
Simon,
I don't know if that's her official one. But shout out to that. Man, Erin Burnett out front. Yeah, man. This is the Mexican. I said Mexican. This is the illegal luchador small hat right here, man. El Gefelta. Los Gefelta. Los Gefeltas will do a 619 on you. And his finishing move was the bar mitzvah 450. All right, so let's see who's next. Elon Musk and Abrigo. We're going to keep going. All right, let's see this one right here. See what they talking about.
Congresswoman Omar, I'm Miles Morrell with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Abrigo Garcia?
I think you should fuck off. Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, what, Congresswoman?
You should fuck off.
Who should?
You.
Why me?
We're not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah, thanks. Congresswoman Omar.
Hold on. Hey, yo, Ice, I know y'all slacking right now, man. Y'all in the nation's capital. You should have been across the street, finger on your chin. Like, yeah, like you caught a whole bunch of fish on the line. You know how many illegals is in here? She might be an illegal. That one in the brown might be an illegal. We know Omar's an illegal. We know Omar's an illegal. She's not an illegal luchador. She's just an illegal alien, not like the illegal alien type. She like E.T. or something like that. That forehead is humongous. And then this one in the back, and then this one look like an African too, so we can get out of there. You know, that head is humongous. Look at that. Look at the size of her head is about the third of her body. Ice, you guys should be waiting right there to catch them right now. Ice, look, man, if you offering 6 figures, I might sign up with y'all. Let me know.
Omar, I'm Miles Morrell with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Abrigo Garcia?
I think you should fuck off. Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, what, Congresswoman?
You should fuck off.
Who should?
You.
Why me?
We're not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah.
Then she trying to low-key give him his number. She trying to low-key give him the number. Oh, man. The most educated, expensive trying to give out numbers out here, man. That joint crazy. Let's see what's on here before we get out of here, man. Let's see. Is this recent? Okay, let's see what Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter, got to say, and I'm out of here. Let's go.
Begun to buckle. We are living in a moment when the checks and balances upon which we have historically relied have begun to buckle. And we here know that when the checks and balances ultimately collapse, if Congress fails to do its part, or if the courts fail to do their part, or if both do their part, but the president defies them anyway, well, friends, that is called a constitutional crisis. And that is a crisis that will eventually impact everyone. Because it would mean that the rules that protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, that ensure each of us has a say about how our government works, will no longer matter.
Yeah, in the Rock words, shout out to the Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He says, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter, okay? And look at that right there. Look at that right there. I haven't seen her in like 6 months. I haven't seen her in like 6 months, man. This chick has been missing in action. She come back. She looking depressed and sad. You know what I mean? Dang. She like somebody abuela.
And if that happens, the one check, the one balance, the one power that must not fail is the voice of the people.
You are not the Rock. You are not the Rock. The people. You more like Rikishi. I did it for the Dago. Okay? So, man, shout out to JV Designs. Kamala learned a hard lesson. Sucking that pole stick can get a chick a job, but it can't make people think she's smart. Boom, boom. Boom. Right there, man. Right there. Right there. All right, man. I'm about to be out of here. I just wanted to do something real quick, to talk about this whole illegal luchadors and Jasmine Crockett. We saw a small hat luchador. We saw a small hat luchador. I'm telling you, El Gefelter is going to be famous one day. Or should we call him El Torah? El Torah is going to be famous one day. He's going to be famous one day. And his move is going to be the Gefelter 19. I think if he gets out the lawyer move, put on a mask, he'll fit right in. But as for Kamala, as for Jasmine Crockett, it ain't looking too good for y'all, man. It ain't looking too good. Abrigo, from what we saw here in the list today, did not follow the 7 steps to become a U.S. citizen. He didn't follow it. He didn't even fill out the form. The lawyer should have said he filled out the N-400 form for naturalization. He's demonstrated to be a good United States citizen. Fight back against the allegations of the women who did it. But we have yet to hear that. Man, if they could only raise Johnny Cochran from the dead, might be interesting, but this is a nothing burger, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys checking me out. This will be pre-recorded. Check it out if you can. Make sure you leave a like, share, or subscribe. And also, if you haven't subscribe. Make sure you have. Starting out a Rumble channel as well, so make sure you go check that out as well, man. We're gonna have a Rumble on there, man. Royal Rumble. And tonight, A-Truism, 9:30, man. You know we're gonna be in there tonight, checking out the True Brother. And whoever else is on today. I think Conservative, if he ain't on already, he'll be on soon, man. All right. So appreciate everybody stopping by. Check out the later on record. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. We can go from there, man. I'll see you.